My 27 meters girlfriend, 25F, asked me what I think about her red lipstick. And I hate it. I hate how it looks on her. I think it makes her look ugly and she is not ugly. But the red lipstick makes her look horrendous. That was what I was thinking, but it is not what I said. I told her I don't like it. I think red lipstick looks bad on everyone, and she still got upset. I then tried to make it better by adding it just doesn't suit you. Darker colors look much better on you. I'd much rather you wear no lipstick than red. I don't know why I thought that would make things better, but I think I have greatly upset her. We're on a video call and she stepped away because she had to go do something, and hasn't been back for like 10 minutes. Did I do something wrong in being honest? And who else has been in this situation? Edit. Thank you all for your replies and constructive criticism. What I have learned tonight is that I should have been a tad more tactful. I will definitely watch that in the future. Smile. You didn't do anything wrong. She is probably just embarrassed that you didn't like it. I feel that way too sometimes. I'll get a dress or something I really like, show my husband, and he'll say May, and I feel so embarrassed that I even thought it looked good. I think the part where you think red lipstick always looks bad on everyone and expressed it looks bad, making her look bad, is what went wrong. Saying something isn't your preference is fine, but saying she'll always unilaterally look terrible in red lipstick is definitely something that's going to upset any girl, and it's a silly thing to say if the issue isn't even how someone looks to the general population but just is a you problem, where you hate red lipstick. I hate the color orange and don't like it on people, but objectively it looks quite nice on many people, and more importantly it makes them happy. There's no reason for me to rip into them about the color orange and how I hate it on people even if they ask me how their outfit looks. It's just a pointless move that's going to upset someone. It's not wrong to have an opinion, but understand she may have felt really confident and thought you'd like it. Your reaction may have popped her confidence balloon. It's not a big deal, just make sure to compliment the things you do like, often. I would also like to add that there are tons of different shades of red. Maybe if she likes the idea of red lipstick, you all could find one that you both like. Reds have different undertones that will look better with certain skin tones. And maybe she could find a really deep red that's still red, but not too over the top. So it's not wrong to dislike it, but there is a way to tell her. My dad has perfected this with my mom. He always says you always look beau today. I fucked up, but I think insert color, makes your face really pop. It looks very sexy. That works like a charm every time, and 10/10 my mom abandons the thing he doesn't like because he makes her feel so much better about other things. This way he tells her what he likes without telling her you look ugly. He will also say as well, you always look beau today. I fucked up, but this color isn't the most flattering. Always compliment a woman when critiquing their looks because it's something people can be very self-conscious about. You got close to the right phrasing but you missed the mark. Obsessed ex-boyfriend is telling everyone my son is his. I broke up with this whack job years ago because he had a lot of emotional issues. I moved across the country and I'm married now and have a son. I have friends back home and they told me my ex is going around telling people we're having an affair. Not possible because again I'm hundreds of miles away. And that my son is his. I made all my social media accounts private now. I told my husband and he laughed because the whole thing is so pathetic and he told me ignore it. Some random woman I'm assuming is his girlfriend even messaged me rudely and asked I don't care if that's his son, stay away from him or else. I just ignored her and blocked her. Should I do anything about it? I have a big urge to tell his parents, but I don't want to cause any drama. Also he doesn't know where I live and it's super far away. This is the sort of behavior that can escalate. You need to keep a record and consider getting a restraining order if necessary. I can't see any problem telling his parents and letting them know that you will involve the police if his behaviors get any worse. It depends a bit on what kind of parents you think they are. But if you think it will help, it might. Ignore him. Make all your accounts private and block him from everything you can. Don't engage. Ignore. I'm glad your hubby laughed though, smiley face, it is pathetic. If he is having a mental breakdown / psychosis, it's not your obligation to get involved anymore, as much as you feel you should. People in his hometown know he's lying. They will bring this information forward to the parents if needed. Your husband's right, just ignore him. He's trying to get a reaction out of you. Just ignore him. My 41F boyfriend, 41M, prioritized his video game before sex and then got upset that an hour later I was no longer in the mood. We went to dinner with friends tonight. Throughout the night he kept telling me how great I looked, how he couldn't decide whether to take me somewhere else to show me off or head straight home to bed. I suggested we head straight home. We pull up at home and a neighbor stops him in the driveway asking to borrow something. I head inside to freshen up, but I keep my clothes on thinking I'll let him take them off. After 15 minutes or so, when I don't see him come to the bedroom, I walk into the living room to find him on the couch playing Xbox. When I give him a WTF look, he says that he heard me moving around in the bedroom and was waiting on me. I tell him that I thought he'd be right behind me and that's why I'm still wearing my heels, etc. He tells me I don't need to stay dressed. He prefers me without clothes anyway. He again says he'll be right behind me. I head back to the bedroom, change into lingerie and wait. 20 minutes later I am annoyed and get under the covers. A few minutes after that he finally walks in, undresses and gets in bed next to me. By now, the vibe we had going earlier is dead, but when he put on music and dimmed the lights I thought we could get it back. But when we pulled me on top of him and found I wasn't ready, he became visibly upset. I told him I just need to be reheated, aka a little foreplay, after waiting so long, and asked him to kiss me. After a minute or so of him half-heartedly kissing my breast while keeping his hands clasped behind his head, I stopped him and asked what was the problem. It was too obvious that he didn't want to be doing what he was doing. His response was that I shouldn't need foreplay. He doesn't see why he needs to do any prep. He's ready to go as soon as he gets in bed next to me. I tried to have dialogue with him about it, but ultimately he just turned his back to me and went to sleep. I love this man, but this just isn't good enough. This foreplay thing has been a recurring issue during our relationship, 5 years, and I've mostly gotten excuses and attempts to turn things back around on me. No consistent improvement. I've never before been with a man like this before. He refuses to see his actions created the current situation, therefore we can't seem to move forward. I love the man, but I can't spend the rest of my life like this. For this and other reasons that deserve their own post, I'm wondering if it's time for me to cut my losses. Edit, yawl. I haven't gone 5 years without the things most consider part of foreplay. My issue is his consistency with the fore-part, because he thinks I should be wet and ready out the gate and doesn't get the role his actions play in that happening. Had I been wet when he checked, I'd probably have been riding his face a minute later, but for the reasons stated I wasn't. He says I'm not attracted to him or I would be ready to go, and feels he shouldn't need to warm me up. His stubbornness around this makes me feel my needs aren't as high priority as his ego. How a 40-plus man doesn't get that sex starts in the head for women in 2020 is a question I have as well. Side note, my best friend told me that she pops some lube in before her husband comes to bed because it's easier than dealing with his ego response if she's not wet and ready, so I don't think this part of the issue is unique to my man. But when we pulled me on top of him and found I wasn't ready, he became visibly upset. Is he for real? If he doesn't understand that most women need foreplay at least some of the time, especially if you ignore them for a video game, and that he can't just jam it in and hammer away by his age, I don't think he's going to learn. He just turned his back to me and went to sleep. So he got mad that you don't work like a blow-up doll, and went to sleep in a huff instead of having an adult conversation. For this and other reasons that deserve their own post, I'm wondering if it's time for me to cut my losses. I would. Edit, this doesn't help. Side note, this is just upsetting. His response was that I shouldn't need foreplay. He doesn't see why he needs to do any prep. Oh, so he doesn't know how sex works or how to have sex? Yeah. 5 years is a long time to waste on a guy who thinks sex is just wanking plus. You shouldn't need foreplay when I tell you I'm ready to poke you. I enjoy you naked anyway and don't need any prep. Wait, let me finish this campaign. You've never had a man act like this because you're dating a child. He ignore you for video games and pouts when you ask for a mutual enjoyment. Was he honestly expecting to jump on jump off? Has this occurred before? Why are you in this relationship if this has been going on for 5 years? Exclamation mark. Or in your 40s dating a man who damn near refuses to give you pleasure. Leave. If you already tried to fix the issue with therapy and he reverted back, then he was trying to find a way to just keep you without really changing. He did the therapy as way to appease you for the time being. You have every right to wanna walk away. I think this is the realization I'm coming to. He seemed very sincere at the time, but I see now that he really didn't change at all. He just acted the part long enough to convince me. Reading through this, I thought he was in his early 20s. 41! Exclamation mark. Girl, you deserve much better. Dump him and go get those orgasms. Exclamation mark. My goodness, I just assumed that they were early 20s. You're better off with a vibrator and a dildo than this guy. He's 41 and this way, OMG. Please leave and don't ever settle like this ever again. 5 years of selfishness. Just